Hello everyone, welcome to the U.S. Immigration. As the year begins to wind down and many of us find ourselves reflecting on what's been a long and often uncertain journey, it's okay to feel a mix of emotions. For millions of people navigating the United States immigration system, this time of year brings not just the hope of the holidays, but also the weight of waiting for work permits to arrive, for green card interviews, for deportation risks to ease, or simply for some sign that movement is finally coming. If you've been following the news, scrolling through social media, or hearing mixed messages about what's changing or what's not, you're not alone. There's a lot of noise out there. Viral posts, misleading headlines, rumors about USCIS policy shifts or sudden executive actions. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, confused, or unsure of what's real and what's just speculation, this video is for you. Today, we're cutting through the chaos. No hype, no rumors, just clear fact-based immigration updates on what's actually happening, or likely to happen in the final stretch before 2026. We'll talk about real developments in work permits, green card processing, deportation priorities, and visa availability. And most importantly, we'll explain what these changes really mean for you, your family, or your employees, and what still remains the same. So, if you've been waiting on a critical immigration update, wondering whether the system is finally becoming more stable or just trying to make sense of it all, keep watching. This is your moment to pause, breathe, and get the clarity you deserve. Let's begin with work permits, one of the most common and critical tools for immigrants living and working in the United States. For many, having an active Employment Authorization Document, EAD, isn't just about a work card. It's about being able to provide for your family, maintain your dignity, and plan a future without the constant fear of losing your job or falling out of legal status. And over the past year, there have been some notable improvements in how work permits are being processed. First, processing times have become more predictable in many categories, especially for renewals. While timelines still vary depending on the service center and caseload, a growing number of applicants are seeing faster turnaround than in previous years. More importantly, the use of automatic extensions has expanded significantly for certain EAD categories. What does that mean? It means that when you file for a renewal and you meet the eligibility criteria, you may be allowed to continue working legally for months while USCIS processes your new card, even if there's a delay. This protection has been a game changer. It has reduced those terrifying gaps where people were forced to stop working through no fault of their own, and for both workers and employers, that stability has been absolutely essential. In addition, digital processing has improved. USCIS has upgraded its internal systems, and electronic filing has helped reduce the number of cases that just disappear into silence. More applicants are now receiving receipts, case updates, and approval notices within clearer timeframes. That doesn't mean the system is perfect, far from it, but the increased transparency and communication have made a real difference for so many families who depend on that little plastic card not just for work, but for survival. Now, let's turn to green cards. Perhaps the most anxiously watched part of the immigration system. The good news is, adjudications are still moving. Yes, even in a year filled with policy debates and administrative changes, family-based, employment-based, and adjustment of status cases have continued to be processed. In many categories where visa numbers are available and backlogs have started to ease, applicants are seeing more consistent movement, including interviews being scheduled and approvals being issued. Now let's be clear, progress is not the same across all categories. Another positive sign, efforts to reduce backlogs are showing results. While the overall number of pending cases is still high, the system has demonstrated that it can move large volumes of cases when resources and priorities align. Many applicants who once feared their cases would never move are now seeing real steps forward. And now let's talk about an issue that touches the deepest fears for many immigrant families: deportation. Let's be honest, when it comes to deportation, misinformation spreads faster than almost anything else. There's a lot of fear, a lot of unknowns, and unfortunately a lot of false assumptions about who is at risk and what enforcement actually looks like today. So, here's what you need to know. Deportation does not apply equally to everyone. Right now, enforcement priorities remain focused on individuals with serious criminal convictions or those considered threats to national security. That doesn't mean deportation is stopped entirely. And it doesn't mean no one is at risk, but it does mean that broad random enforcement actions are not the reality for the majority of people living, working, and contributing to their communities. Additionally, due process is still a cornerstone of the system. People are still able to request relief, apply for immigration benefits, and have their cases heard in court. That right to a fair process to present your case, to seek legal counsel to be heard, remains one of the most powerful protections immigrants have. Now, let's shift to visa availability, an area that has seen some measurable, if incremental progress as we approach the end of the year. Whether you're waiting on a family-based visa or an employment-based category, visa numbers dictate whether your case can move forward to the next stage, such as applying for adjustment of status or work authorization. And while demand still far outpaces supply in many categories, there are signs that movement is happening. The Visa Bulletin, which tracks monthly availability, has shown forward movement in several categories, especially those that had been stuck for months or even years. What's more, information has become more accessible. While not perfect, the tools available today, from the official USCIS case status portal to the Department of State's Visa Bulletin, give applicants a better chance to understand where they stand and what to expect next. Now, if you're wondering what ties all of this together, work permits, green cards, deportations, visas, it's this stability. Yes, the immigration system is still complex. Yes, processing times vary. Yes, policies may shift. But here's what's becoming clearer as we approach 2026. The day-to-day operations of the immigration system have shown resilience. None of this means the system is easy, but it does mean it is not falling apart. And for the millions of people who rely on it, that stability has real-world consequences. It means you can renew your lease, accept a job offer, enroll your child in school, plan for the future, not just for the next few weeks. As we move into the new year, it's important to keep expectations realistic. Processing times will still vary, policies may still shift, not every case will move at the same pace, but the overall direction for now includes continuity and in some areas measurable improvement. If you're waiting for a work permit, the system is still processing them and protections like auto extensions remain in place. If you're waiting for a green card, adjudications are continuing and visa numbers are not gone. If you're worried about deportation, enforcement is targeted and due process is still in place. This is not about false optimism, it's about informed confidence, it's about understanding where you stand, what your options are, and how to prepare for what's ahead. So, as this year comes to a close, take a moment to recognize your strength. You've made it through another year of waiting, adapting, and hoping. And as the new year begins, there are genuine reasons to feel a sense of cautious hope. Before we go, if you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing to us Immigration Hub Updates for more clear, accurate, and timely immigration news. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and if you have a question about your specific case, leave it in the comments. We're here to help. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next